And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Escape Room the Game with 3 thrilling escape rooms: Secret Agent, Operation Ziekstock, The Dentist, and Space Station. So just to clarify, I've already reviewed the first round of Escape Room the Games. I've also reviewed some expansions for it. This is, I think, like the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th things. I don't know. But the fact is, when you buy this, you're buying a complete game. You get the chrono decoder that you need to solve it in here, and everything you need is in here, but there's 3 different things that you'll go through here. Each one takes about an hour to play through, and you're going to try to solve a mystery. It's like an escape room in a box. So let me give you a real quick look. I'm not going to spoil anything of how the game, kind of how it works. So here's a quick recap if you've not played any of the escape room games. You're going to get one of these devices in this one. It's called the chrono decoder. Now this is, they have codes on the side that you may or may not use, and wheels over here that you may not use. But the whole point of the game is, as the game progresses, this is going to start with a countdown, and you're going to use these keys. These keys will have various, they have Roman numerals on them. They have little slots on the sides. There's letters, there's arrows, there's numbers, there's shapes, and it will matter what side you put them in. So this side of the key is different than the other, and you're going to, at certain points, have to plug in a code here, and when you put in the last one, it will tell you if you're right or wrong. In this case, I'm wrong, and it takes time off the clock. Well, maybe this one's right. No? How about this one, Chief? Okay, well, anyway, once you get it right, you're then going to go to the next part of the puzzle. And the puzzle is going to be in various envelopes. I'm just going to show you the back of the box. So like you'll get some envelopes like this. You'll open the envelope. It will give you different pieces. At times over the course of the game, you'll have clues that you'll be able to look at. And the bell will ring on this device when it's time to look at a clue. And eventually you will either solve or fail the case. So once again, just to reiterate how it plays, you'll get 3 envelopes with each of these. You open up an envelope, it will give you some stuff, cards, puzzle pieces, whatever. You will use that stuff somehow to get a 4-digit code, putting the keys in the chrono decoder. Now, the chrono decoder itself corresponds to work with these 3. I do not know if the chrono decoder works with other missions. I'm assuming it works with the expansion ones. In fact, the chrono decoder that I showed you there is not from this box, it's from another box, but they're the exact same on how they work. But the chrono decoder could be used for various things, and you are trying to figure it out, trying to get the clues. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. If you're really stuck, you can go to their website. They'll ask you some question to make sure that you have the game. It's kind of like those old questions when you used to put discs in the old computer games, like what's written on page 42. But anyway, they'll ask you a question and they'll give you the entire solution, everything printed out if you need to go that far. These are much harder, I think, than the other ones were so far. The Dentist is by far my favorite, even though it's a theme that scares me the most, to be trapped in a dentist's office, and it's the slightest bit creepy, especially if you're not a fan of dentists. But it has a really neat, the final puzzle in the Dentist I thought was exceptionally cool, and I can't tell you why until you play it. Space Station was also really neat. You're on a space station that's exploding. You got to figure out how to get off. It uses some real life space facts and things like that with a little bit of history thrown in. This one came the closest to needing slight information outside. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I really like that one too. And Secret Agent was good. Secret Agent, of course, Secret Agent is the easiest of the bunch, I think. The Dentist and Space Station I would consider to be fairly difficult. Secret Agent is the easiest of the bunch, but it's also the weakest of the bunch. But all 3 of these I enjoyed. Usually when I get a pack of escape room games like this, there's usually one that I'm not as big of a fan of. I liked all 3. All 3 had different unique puzzles. All 3 used things in a different way. Like the thing that in the Dentist, the puzzle I really like, used something I haven't seen before and probably won't see again because it was so different and unique. So I'm pretty excited to see what comes next from this series. There's a Jumanji set that I'm going to be playing through and reviewing as time goes by. But these 3 are amongst my favorites in escape room history, period. The Dentist, I would easily goes to my top 10, and the Space Station probably not too far beyond that. The escape room, the games work really well for larger groups of players because you're going to spread things out. There was some pretty strong logic type puzzles that were amongst these, and there was different things that needed various pieces, and we talked about it and pierced them together. And there was also a couple puzzles in here that were actually simpler to solve, and we went around and did it the long, hard way or thought too difficultly about them. Overall, this is great. This is probably my current favorite series. Exit the Game is pretty close. I mean, they're both very, very good. But that's Escape Room, the Game, Secret Agent, The Dentist, and Space Station. All three things you want to get out of. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent!